What if we were to tell you that the rules are being changed as we speak right now, and you have no voice at that table? You have no chair. Unbeknownst to the American people, future generations are going to rent forever. The American dream was built off of hard work and the determination to own a home, not just for yourself, but for your kids, for your grandkids, for generations to come. That dream was dependent on one thing: your output, your ability to work, and your ability to earn. Right now, that dream is being systematically dismantled. Home ownership is going to become a luxury for the very few. And there is nothing that you're going to be able to do about it. All because of one single aspect that no one's talking about.
Something fundamental is changing right now. Not next year, not when rates drop, right now as we speak. And that is not theoretical. This is not a hyperbole. This is not just our thoughts or our opinions. There is factual evidence that this is happening in real life. And for most people, it's already too late. But for some of you, there's still a small window, a short window, maybe 4 or 5 years. In that window, you either act or you surrender.
Yeah, there's a 3-letter acronym coming, and it's arriving within the next 6 to 18 months, whether you like it or not. And when it does, it's going to change America and the world as we know it. The rules are being rewritten right now, not with malice or not with intent to harm, just the raw, uninhibited change that is coming. And the result is taking the American dream to the slaughterhouse. So, do we have a play? Or are you about to become permanently locked out of the American dream?
So this thing that we're talking about, let's start out with what it is called.
Okay, Manley, so we've been hearing the same narrative for years now. Wait for the rates to drop, wait for prices to cool, wait for the market to reset. Sit on the sidelines and keep your powder dry, and when things normalize, that's when you make your move. So that sounds logical, and it sounds patient, and it sounds like a smart play.
And we get it. We've said it ourselves. But here's what we've discovered over the last few months of really digging into the data. That narrative is not just incomplete, it's actively dangerous to your future right now.
That's right, because while everyone is waiting for rates and prices to cooperate, something much bigger is happening in the background. Something that will reshape who can actually afford to be a homeowner and who cannot. AGI is coming. Artificial General Intelligence. Not in some distant sci-fi future. The timelines we're seeing now suggest mid to late 2027 is the inflection point. That's 6 to 18 months from now. That's coming up pretty quick.
And when AGI arrives, it doesn't disrupt one job or one industry. It disrupts the fundamental assumption that your income will be stable enough to qualify for a 30-year mortgage. So the real question isn't when rates will drop. The real question is, do you have the income runway to still qualify for that mortgage in 4 years?
Yeah, and the shift, no one's talking about it. We're all obsessing over basis points and prices per square footage when the actual variable that matters is your ability to earn stable income for 3 decades. It's becoming completely unpredictable now. And here's where it gets even more uncomfortable. Institutional capital already knows this.
Folks like BlackRock, Blackstone, the mega funds that are buying up single-family homes right now, they're not doing this because they see cheap real estate. They're doing it because they've modeled a future where the middle class can't buy. They've already priced in the AI displacement. So the question for you is simple. Are you going to wait for that world to arrive? Or are you going to act while you still can?
A's, 0. B's, 0. Double B's, 0. Triple B's, 0. And then that happens.
What is that?
That's America's housing market.
Okay, Manley, let's talk about what this actually looks like in real life, because this isn't theoretical anymore. We are already seeing the cracks. Goldman Sachs has flagged that 300 million jobs globally now face direct exposure to AI automation. 300 million. And here in the United States, unemployment among 20 to 30-year-olds in the tech-exposed occupation has already risen nearly 3 percentage points since the start of 2025. That's not a forecast. That's happening right now.
And what's critical to understand is the jobs aren't being loudly eliminated. They're being quietly unfilled. Companies aren't announcing mass layoffs day one. They're just not backfilling positions when people leave. 5 roles become 3. 3 roles become 1. And by the time the public realizes what happened, the restructuring is already complete.
That's exactly how Detroit died. Nobody woke up one morning and announced the American auto industry was over. It happened gradually, then suddenly. One plant closure, one outsourced contract, one generation that still had the job, and the next generation that did not. And now those communities that built generational wealth through homeownership, kids and grandkids working the same plants, that's gone. That chapter of the American dream, it closed quietly while people were waiting for it to come back.
And now we're watching the same movie again, except this time, not just factory workers. Mogadot, former chief business officer at Google X, told Stephen Bartlett on the Diary of the CEO that 30% of jobs disappear by 2027. Let me say that again. By 2027. That's around the corner. Not factory jobs, not manual labor. We're talking software engineers, marketers, accountants, paralegals, the exact professions that today's homebuyers are counting on to make their mortgage payments for the next 30 years.
In fact, PricewaterhouseCoopers, they put a number on it. 30% of jobs are at risk by mid-2030s. The World Economic Forum, it projects 92 million jobs displaced by 2030. And here's the part that hits the hardest for home ownership specifically. Lenders qualify you based off of income stability, 2 years of documented income, consistent employment history. But what happens if your industry doesn't have a 2-year track record anymore? What happens when underwriters start factoring in AI displacement risk the same way they factor in credit risk today? Your income doesn't just have to exist. It has to be provable and sustainable for 30 years.
And that's the wall that's coming. Not the rate wall, not the price wall, the income credibility wall. So here's what we need to talk about next, because there is a play here. There is a window. And the people who see it clearly right now are the ones who are going to come out on the other side of this as homeowners.
A, B, C. A always B, C closing. Always be closing. Always be closing.
Okay, so here is what separates the people who are going to win from the people who are going to lose in the next 5 years. It's not luck, it's not timing, it's clarity. The people who understand what is actually happening right now, not the people waiting for rates to drop, not for people hoping prices cool, the people who see the American dream dying and they understand exactly why it's dying are going to make moves that everyone else will regret not making. Here's the uncomfortable truth. Most people think the American dream is dead, and they're right. The version of the American dream your parents had, unfortunately, it's gone. But what they do not understand is that means homeownership is about to become the ultimate wealth builder again, because everyone else will be frozen, everyone else will be renting, and everyone else will be waiting. And the people who move now, who understand the income runway they have, who qualify while lenders still use the old playbook, those people are going to own assets that appreciate while the rest of the middle class builds equity for their landlords.
In other words, they're renters forever. And that is where your actual advantage lives. Not hoping prices drop, not in timing some perfect market moment. Your advantage is in seeing what's coming before everyone else does. Your advantage is understanding that if you are in a profession that a computer can do, you have a window, 6 months to maybe 5 years. Inside that window, you can still qualify based on income that will not be relevant in 10 years. After that window closes, you might not qualify at all.
Yeah, and the trades are not a backup plan anymore. They are the blueprint. The people going into electrical work, plumbing, HVAC, construction, they are not just getting jobs, they are positioning themselves in a profession that will have a shortage premium pay and generational wealth through home ownership, while knowledge workers, they're still trying to figure out what happened.
Elon Musk is not guessing when he says there will be 5 to 10 times more humanoid robots than humans in the next decade. Jeff Bezos is not speculating when he invests $100 billion into industrial automation right now. These people are building the future, and they're telling you exactly what it looks like. The question is simple. Are you going to be on the side that understands the play? Or are you going to be on the side that wakes up in 2030 and realizes you could have owned a home, but you chose to wait?
So here is your action item. Stop waiting for the perfect moment. The perfect moment, that was 5 years ago. The next perfect moment is today. Have an honest conversation about your profession. Ask yourself if your income will be as provable and stable in 3 years as it is today. And if that answer makes you uncomfortable, that discomfort, that's your signal. That signal is telling you the window is open and it's telling you to move now. Because the people who understand that home ownership right now is not an aspiration, it is an unfair advantage. Those are the people who are going to build generational wealth while everyone else builds equity for their landlords.
Hey, this is not fear. This is clarity. And clarity is what actually changes trajectories. All right, Anthony, let's hit the market dashboard and tell us exactly where the market stands of today.
Absolutely. So the 30-year fixed rate is sitting at 6.68% as of June 8th, 2026. The 10-year treasury yield, that's at 4.56%. Here's what that means in plain English. If you're buying a $400,000 home with 20% down, your monthly principal and interest payment right now is roughly $2,070. That's real money. But here's the context no one's giving you. That payment, it's fixed. It's locked. It doesn't care what AI does to the economy. It does not care what happens to your neighbor's rent next year. Your landlord's rent does absolutely care about all of those things, and it will definitely go up.
People think the risk is locking at 6.8. The bigger risk may be never owning at all. The rate is not your enemy. Waiting is your enemy. That number on the screen is the price of entry in a fixed future. Everything outside of a homeownership is variable. And variable is exactly the wrong place to be in an economy that is about to get very unpredictable very fast.
Greed, for lack of a better word, is good. Greed is right. Greed works.
All right, let's bring this home. We opened today asking you one question. What if your inaction right now is locking your family into renting forever? Here's your answer. It is not what if anymore. It is when. The forever renter class is not coming. It's being built right now, brick by brick, algorithm by algorithm. And the people building it are counting on you to keep waiting.
So here's what we need you to do right now. Share this episode with one person in your life who is sitting on the sidelines waiting for the perfect moment. Tell them the perfect moment, it already passed, and the next best moment is today. And if you want to know exactly where you stand and what your options look like right now, reach out to us directly. We're here to help. We will give you the honest conversation that no one else is having with you. We're Anthony and Manley. This is the Mortgage 101 podcast. We'll see you next week.
Girl from the heart of Wisconsin to the waves of Hawaii. Manley and Anthony keep it real, not salesy. Breaking down rates and the truth you need to know with a little soul and a little homegrown flow. It's the Mortgage 101 podcast where real talk meets home at last. Manley's got that Midwest soul, Anthony Manley brings that island roll when the market swings and you don't go fast. Tune in, the Mortgage 101